This episode of Minor Obsession is brought to you by the UNC Charlotte Belk College of Business, North Carolina's urban research business school. As alumni of Belk College ourselves, we encourage you to visit belkcollege.uncc.edu and learn how Charlotte's business school can inspire your career path. All right, welcome to another edition of Minor Obsession. Scott Lieberman here. We got a special guest, Eric Besserman, video coordinator for the women's basketball team. Eric, welcome to Minor Obsession.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah, so want to talk about you and your background, but first, hopefully everyone's seen this on Twitter. If not, the trick shot challenge that the women's basketball team has put on, since we don't get an NCAA tournament and we don't get brackets. This has honestly been the best thing I've seen on the internet in general for the last month. How did you come up with it? And if you haven't seen it, go to Twitter, go to the women's basketball page, check it out. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely go check it out today. We gotta get our votes up. Like yesterday was really awesome. We had over 1,000 votes on our Final Four game between Mo and Melina Williams. It's just been a great turnout. It was actually Kara's idea. Coach Kara came to me and texted me one day and said, "I've been seeing a lot of trick shots out there, and just for something to do, can we do like a little trick shot challenge?" And I don't think she was really expecting the whole bracket layout and everything, but that's something she always jokes with me. She says that she comes up with these ideas and tells me about them, and then I take them to the next level. And she always praises me for that. And so yeah, I just came up with this template and just kind of ran with it.
So, were you expecting the level? How did you tell the players what to do? Especially the freshmen really showed up, while the seniors, we saw a lot of upsets, and as you could see by the finals, the freshmen pretty much went all the way.
Well, yeah, I don't think the upperclassmen were really expecting me to go this all out either. So it was kind of like, we just told them to come up with a trick shot, have somebody film it, and then we'll go from there and we'll have a trick shot challenge, but some of them were even after the first round asking me if they were going to record new trick shots because they were kind of saving, they didn't want to go all out for the first round, basically.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think we would have, if it was under different circumstances, I think we would have done new trick shots each round and kind of made it even more interesting. But with everything going on and they just called for the lockdown,
Sure.
I think it was 2 days after we had started filming the first round. So it just didn't seem right to have them go out and, potentially risk them, getting a virus. And it was just easier to keep up with the same trick shots. But yeah, I was a little disappointed by some of the upperclassmen that they didn't go all out.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was Jade did a trash can paper balls. I could do that.
But yeah, I think Mo was one of the first ones to send it to me, and I was like, wow. I was really waiting for everyone else's then because she started it off with the behind the back on the trampoline.
Oh yeah. No, it was pretty epic, and I feel like, especially for the freshmen, they definitely have some more hype coming in now based on this promotion, and even when hopefully everything gets back to normal next season and we have a normal tournament and everything. But I think this is gold for maybe the off season or whatever to get us hyped up about recruits.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. I really wasn't expecting the turnout. I think some of the girls have bigger fan bases and they have bigger followings on Twitter and Instagram and whatnot. But so I think when it's someone like Mariah and Melina and JC, I think they just have a lot of people in their corners that they share it to, and then it gets shared again. And, they just have a lot of people coming out to vote for them.
Sure. Well, I know really cool. We were not following JC at all, and we voted for her every time. That's my favorite personally. The moving car.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Absolutely.
But Mariah's is awesome too. I love the behind the back trampoline swish. Yeah. It's definitely going to be a battle for the ages in the finals.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm hoping to see even more votes. It's going to be cool. Hopefully we get to like 2,000.
Yeah, so you said you got 1,000 on the Final Four, which is pretty awesome. How has the momentum gone? I know initially we were loving it, and we reached out and we wanted to get you on here because we wanted to make sure we promoted it more because it's so good.
Yeah, no, I think the first round was really good as far as engagement. And then the Elite Eight, it kind of tailed off a little bit just because I don't know if that was just kind of me feeling like it tailed off or not, but it just felt like, I was posting the same trick shots. And that was where I started to think, like, maybe we should have had them do different trick shots just to get people even more involved.
Sure.
But then the Final Four completely switched back to, even better engagement. So I think it's working out.
Yeah, well, it's awesome. The graphics are great. I love the bracket. I think it made sense making the freshmen like the lower seeds, and the upsets are great. It's good to get some upsets happening too. So great job.
That was kind of how I did it to make it fair. I even placed them in the bracket before I saw anyone's video. And so it was like, I'm going to give the seniors the advantage. I'm going to put Jade and Lauren at the 1 seeds, 1 and 2, and then I'll put the incoming freshmen at 15, 16, and then kind of fill in the gaps in between as far as their class. And that's how I kept it fair. And some of the matchups weren't as great, but, I left it up to them to kind of like impress me and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, is there a prize? What are you planning to give to the winner once, everything gets back to normal?
Just a shout out on
you guys need like some really bad trophy from a garage sale that like gets passed on each year.
Yes. And then as soon as we get back to campus, we can do a video of the trophy presentation.
Oh yeah, we're looking forward to that. And
it.
Next year when you do it, if you need like play-by-play for each one, me and Sean are definitely in for that.
I'm definitely coming to you guys.
The other thing that we've been trying to get going, which I feel like you're the person for this, is we still want the matchup whenever we get back to normal of Sierra versus Coach Kara, one-on-one, the battle.
Mm-hmm. Let's definitely do that. That's awesome. Yeah, I know they've been talking about it too, and I know Sierra's back in basketball form now. She's been a full year of practicing and getting back to it, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, me and Sean definitely have different opinions. He's got Coach, I've got Sierra, so we'll see what happens. But
that's awesome.
We're pumped to see that. So besides doing all the cool social media stuff, which again you guys are ahead of the curve right now with this.
I appreciate it.
You've been with the team for 6 years now as the video coordinator. Tell me a little bit about Eric and how you got to UNC Charlotte and how your experience has been thus far.
Yeah, so this is I just finished year 6, which is crazy. And, I started at the University of Akron. I was a practice player for the women's team there during my undergrad. And then I got to know the staff, and they had their graduate assistant / video coordinator. The graduate assistant, did all the video. And that person left a year early, and it was just happened to be the year that I graduated. So I kind of just kept coming to the office, and they finally gave me the graduate assistant job. Did that for 2 years, got to meet some people in the business, and, they reached out to Charlotte for me, and I got the job at Charlotte. Really just about the connections I built while I was a GA, and kind of led me to here. And once I've been here, it's just been, as you guys know, the staff is amazing here. So, there's it's just great. It's just been great my 6 years. So
that's awesome. So were you targeting Charlotte for any reason, or it just kind of fell into place and now you're in the best city in the world, the best school in the world? Or
Exactly. Yeah, no, it just kind of fell into place. I had applied for like 2 or 3 other positions, but one of the assistants at Akron knew Kara. So, he was just like, I'm going to reach out to Kara for you. He said he even on the road recruiting, he just kept like going up to her and telling her about me. Like, hey, you got to hire Eric. And she was like, okay, let me call this Eric guy. Like, so yeah, just kind of fell into place.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit more about your duties besides, social media. Obviously you're looking at videotape and whatnot, or
Yeah. So, obviously during this time of year, which actually, due to the coronavirus, I'm working from home, obviously, but I think this time of year I would have been doing this anyway. So it's really no change in schedule for me, because this time of year, season's over. We're kind of just getting recruiting videos ready, sending videos to recruits, text outs, mail outs, and then doing social media now. So that kind of all stays the same. But during the season, it's a lot of scout film. I'm gathering film from opponents and breaking it down. I'm breaking it down play by play, what they run. We draw it up. We send it to the coach that's in charge of that scout, and we put it all together. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of work during the season, and then once the season's over, it's almost a complete switch. It's like, all right, now it's like the creative side, trying to build up for the summer, and then also during the summer camps, summer workouts, and all that stuff.
So with the current situation, how does that affect the summer camps, the summer workouts, even the the things you're sending to the recruits?
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. I think as far as like sending stuff to recruits, I think it has to be a little bit shorter, because it's harder to text long videos and like bigger graphics and stuff. So I think we just try to keep it to a minimum. Normally the coaches would go do home visits, and I would give them like a longer video that kind of like shows the campus, shows the girls' apartments, shows everything behind the scenes that they can kind of see without having to come to campus. But now they can't do home visits, so we have to kind of be creative on sending short videos that give them a feel of the campus. And then, yeah, summer camps is, obviously up in the air right now. I think we're still on as scheduled in June, but, that could change any moment. And then, yeah, summer workouts too. It's usually we would be starting, I think, around next week. And it's just kind of a crazy feel to not be starting right up again with spring workouts.
Yeah, for sure. And we haven't really talked to anyone from any of the teams since all of this happened. How's the team? How's coach doing after, great season, got our first win in the tournament, and then, everything kind of ended from there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a little disappointed just because of the way it ended. I think we really had a chance to win it all this year, and I know Jade is really bummed. She was ready for that run, and obviously we were probably going to get into the WNIT at worst. If we didn't win the tournament, we were going to go be in the WNIT. So that was really exciting too, to have another postseason run. And then, Jade, I know she was invited to a couple workouts for the WNBA. So I don't know where that is at this point. I know the Final Four has been canceled and everything. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with her as far as agent goes and, where she goes, if she goes overseas, whatnot. But I think everyone else is doing great. I think this is kind of a good time for everyone to decompress and be with family and stuff. So I think we're just trying to be positive and just see when spring workouts are going to start.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I've been saying about the men's team and the women's team is I'm claiming national championships, just like UCF did a few years ago. I mean, we never lost. We're not like Chapel Hill where we actually lost in in our conference tournament where we're not going to make the tournament. We were still in it. We won a game. I'm claiming national championships. So I think it's a great year.
That was like almost the most disappointing part too, was because we were like really hyped up for that day, the day we were in Frisco. We were doing shoot around in the hotel. Everyone was really excited. They were really on point. And then in the back of our minds, we had the men playing that night too. So if we won that day, we were probably going to go to the men's game and cheer them on, and it was going to be a really exciting time. And I'm just disappointed we didn't get to see them in the tournament either.
Yeah, they also had a great season. Great year for basketball in general this year.
Yeah. I mean, great year for Charlotte sports in general. Yeah, it's like, the football team and everything else. It's just been great.
Yeah, and baseball and softball were looking good, as well as women's tennis was having a pretty good start.
That makes it easier for us, too, over the summer. Just kind of, highlighting everything that's happened at UNC Charlotte for the past year. And it's just a really big buzz on campus, and it's just a great feel.
For sure. We haven't had a feel like this in a while. So it's real nice to just see all the sports kind of running at all cylinders and just the hype and everything. And hopefully, the brand study will come out at some point, and we'll have even more to be excited about.
There you go.
But right now the most exciting thing, which is why you're here, is the Trick Shot Challenge. So everyone that's listening, make sure to go on the Twitter, check out the women's basketball page, and see all of the trick shots, even if you missed it and you weren't able to vote. It's pretty good stuff, especially the Final Four. And our pick is definitely JC, and she's gonna have a lot of hype next year now. We're expecting cars on the court, and
Yeah, let's see how many fans get out and vote for her.
Yeah,
she got to beat Mo. I know Mo's got a big following, so it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and she actually has a good shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, like it's definitely it's gonna be a battle for sure. And we love Mariah, and but I just love upsets, man. I gotta go with the freshman.
Absolutely, yeah. I can't wait to see how it turns out. And everyone that's listening, go give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Charlotte WBB. We'll be having more highlight videos, and when the summer comes, we'll do interviews with all the players and coaches, and more to come. So
awesome. Well, Eric, thanks again for the time, and definitely keep doing this next year, or think of another bracket that we could do once this is over. We loved it. It's honestly the most engaging thing happening, like I said.
That's awesome. I appreciate it.
Keep it rolling. Good stuff.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, and hope to talk to you guys again here real soon.
Absolutely. Have a good, safe off season here, and hopefully everything gets back to normal in time.
Yeah. You guys have a good one too. Stay safe.
See you, Eric. Have a good one.
See you. Bye-bye.